I believe we're live. Welcome, 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 everybody, to Mystic Sisters Live, January 17th, 2026, sharing away the trauma. Okay, we got ideas on how to help fix up the week that was the last, and we've got a new moon tomorrow.
We do.
And Vicki and I just did a Moon Shadows episode, and I honestly don't know, Vicki, is it up yet?
Not yet. It'll be up after this. So
Okay. So watch for the new moon ideas and things we need to do. But tonight we just want to welcome everybody on this Saturday night, the eve of the Bears and Rams game. Okay. To help sort of cut away at things that you don't need anymore, hoping to jump into this very first new moon tomorrow with a somewhat solid plan.
the new moon, of course, is in Capricorn. Capricorn is all business, guys, all business. So we're going to figure out our business. What's our business and maybe what's not our business, right?
Yeah, actually, part of you cut out, but I was just thinking exactly what's your business during this episode. We talk about these things and clearing trauma. I will have my Reiki vortex, my portal with me here. Also, I have tomorrow. I surrounded the altar with scissors so that at any point, if we go down some kind of weird rabbit hole, we'll just go like this. Okay. A lot of this needs diversion. And if you have a noise by you, if you have something that will divert this traumatic thought, this pattern, and you just continue it, your head's going to. Okay. And I have these scissors up there for the nurses at work, and they're going on the altar to get blessed.
Make sure they have the appropriate scissors for the appropriate job. How very Capricorn of you, Ona.
Okay, we've got this. We're going to cut sort of takes the sludge of into the new, get rid of it as much as we've been trying. See all your questions and everything that we want to. Some things are so unpredictable and dark that it feels like we're just getting our place all the time.
Say that again, Ona. You cut out a little bit.
Sorry.
I don't know. I don't think it's your microphone.
Shouldn't be the internet. Oh, she says the sound is going in and out. I don't know what's up with this one. It's been. How does that feel?
You can't ever tell. It always feels normal till it doesn't. Like you can't really tell. Like you sounded great. Hopefully you'll sound great in a minute. I don't know.
The comments are that it's going in and out, and I wonder if it's when I physically move back and forth. So I'll try not to. We'll see what happens.
Ona's going to sit still for us. I think I want to see that. I can't imagine it's possible. So before we get into the cutting away of the things that no longer serve, cutting away the cords we have to our past traumas. I mean, I said to Ona yesterday, a little while ago, not yesterday. Who knows? What day is it? Where am I? That like right now we're going through the eye of the needle, right? And so we need to be as light and unencumbered as we can be so that we can slip through the eye of the needle. without, tearing an arm off or something, like really an ability to let go and understand that on the other side of things, um, we're more aligned with our purpose. We're more aligned with the kind of life we want to live because we are co creative with spirit. We do have power. We just get distracted by people who don't want us to know that we have power.
Oh, you know what? All of this makes us more powerful in the end.
Yes.
I know. It just gives us even more power, although it doesn't seem like it feels that way. Um, when you get bullied, those are the kids that get bullied are the strongest ones. Trust
Yeah.
me. They're the bravest ones and they're the strongest ones. So definitely
Well,
we'll pull it
yeah,
together.
and those who stand up for those who get bullied, I think. When you stand up for your brother and your sister, when you stand up for what's right, and not what's titillating or expedient. And of course, bullying, we could say that, but bullying comes from being bullied. It's one of those loops that, the bully is the saddest one of all in a way, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad do you have to feel to want to hurt somebody else?
You know what? It's all that self esteem stuff that we didn't start infusing into people until probably what?
The
The
70s,
millennials.
the
Yeah.
70s maybe. We were born in the 60s, so we lost out on that.
We were groomed to be badass and are required to neutralize. But that whole ethic of self-esteem and confidence building skills and blah blah blah, that wasn't really until the next generation. So, you know, none of these people have those skills.
I don't think they'd be working for ICE if they did, right?
I I just want to read the book that one of them writes or the journal that in a true sense, not one that is AI generated to make him look like an asshole. One that might be sort of confessional or something. I'm interested in the literary art that comes out of this.
There's going to be quite a bunch of literary art, I imagine.
It's all over the walls.
So, so last week we picked Mezzo Goddess. That was the Mystic Sister card for last week, and it was about singing your song. So hopefully, some of you this week did a little, sang a little,
Oh
spoke
yeah.
your truth. Maybe some of you protested. Thank you for doing that. All right, I'm going to pick one for this week.
Okay.
I'm just
I
gonna,
got for this week, I thought, let's do something different. And I did, this was one of Giblets and I picked these Oracle decks, and I've been using the Dream Song. So I thought, let's try the Wisdom of the Oracle because he's sleeping down there and he won't know.
oh,
Tell me.
Urania, goddess of astrology and astronomy. Urania.
Ooh,
Of course, that points to Uranus, right? Let's see what it says.
that air trine.
All right. It, it's a U, so it's at the end.
Does she use scissors? Does she use
Yeah, I'll look to see if there's any scissors here. No, no, she does have a. Oh, she's got no. You know what she has in her? She's got one of those things that makes the circles. See that in her hand there?
like a
It's
wand?
like a
A
compass.
pendulum?
Like no, a compass that makes a circle.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
Okay, so it
Oh,
says
yes.
Philosophy, knowledge, and intelligence. So this is the energy we need for this upcoming week. Urania is the ancient Greek muse of astronomy. Her energy is directed towards endless expansion of the mind. She represents the enthusiastic and dedicated student with unquenchable thirst for knowledge. When we take the opportunity to expand our knowledge of any particular subject, the interconnectedness of all truths can be recognized. When drawn, Urania encourages you to travel in your mind, imagine other possibilities. I like this. And playfully philosophize about alternative reality maps. She encourages furthering education or using knowledge you've already obtained to your fullest potential. So we have to start thinking about the world that we want to live in and start taking actions to get there. That's what she's saying to me. So we're going to stick with that.
I like her cool outfit.
That's my story, and that's her story, and I'm sticking to it.
Somebody said calipers. Is it calipers for measuring?
Yeah, it was
Or
calipers, maybe. Yeah, yeah, measuring angles and circles, and because that's what astronomy and astrology is about, right?
they use them to measure how thick your skin is.
Mine is very thin, very thin skin. When I
Yep.
was a kid, it was practically translucent. You could see like my veins, like it way into my 20s, like translucent. But
Can I
translucent.
just say, white people are translucent?
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, well, I was very translucent. I was
They just are. They just are. Some of them really. I got in between worlds. And what number is it here? Oh, it's number 3. Okay. You see that? So if I were to cut this card in half
Mhm.
with the cool scissors that I put on the altar, that's where your butt is stuck in the gray, right? And the new world ahead, look at it. Look how pretty it is.
Look
Look,
how bright.
you moving forward, or is your ass stuck in the dirt? Okay. That's how I feel. That's where we're going. I'm even going to read the thing because you get it. Like there's something that is getting finished up. And even though it's a new moon, this, where we have a beginning and we start, some of it still feels like it needs to be colored in.
Well, I think we have Saturn and Neptune at the end of Pisces. This new moon is in
Fog.
Capricorn, which is Saturn ruled. It's at the end of Pisces. Really, things are going to start to feel different. I think once Neptune and Saturn both move in to Aries, make that conjunction. And then in April, we have Uranus move into Gemini. And once that happens, I think things are just going to start to really take off. Really take off. If anybody wants to watch not Mystic Sisters, Moon Shadows, we have the chart
Yeah.
on the video, and you can see it's like I kind of that there's like everything is like connected to this triangle, this mini grand trine, which I think is going to act like a scalpel to cut away what we no longer need.
Literally.
You don't run with
I need
anything.
it. Sometimes I need to.
Don't run with scissors.
I know. And these, you can run with these. Look.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
You can only run if you have those scissors.
I don't want to throw shade on anybody because everybody of my coworkers are fucking rock stars, okay? But I had to show my administrator wound and I didn't have scissors. And I said, "Can I have a pair of scissors, please? I need to cut off this bandage." And she pulls out these scissors and are like this sewing scissors that are like this long. I said, okay. So I very carefully did that. And then I immediately ordered from, who, and got all those gals scissors and the wound cards. And they're all going on the blessing and everything. You can run with these. It's okay. It's okay.
So, how was your week, Ona?
Very busy.
Yeah.
And this is where if I could mirror what, just my personal and going home and witnessing just a little bit of news, I'm like, it mirrors the same kind of thing. It mirrors what's going on out there. It's just so much overload and getting done as much as you possibly can and getting by with as much dignity and sovereignty as you possibly can. And giving yourself a pat on the back sometimes. I think you forget to do that too.
Well, I'm getting better at that. I used to be terrible at it. When my mother was here, I rarely ever patted myself on the back.
That makes me crazy. Honestly, I can't ask people to do what we need them to do and not thank them. That just doesn't make sense to me. So, and it should flow. Thank yous should flow like water flows out of a faucet into a basket under the sink.
Well, for no other reason. I mean, even if you're a greedy MFer, gratitude is the key to the kingdom. If you want more, you have to be grateful for what you have. So I'm very grateful. I live in gratitude. I really do. It's gotten me through some pretty interesting times, I'll have to say. Times where I think if I had stinking thinking, I might not be here. Not necessarily on the planet. I'd still be on the planet, but I wouldn't be in this house. There's a lot of things that would have I would have not been able to keep.
I agree. I witness opportunities to be grateful every day. I for sure am. I like that people are like, yeah, this too shall pass and stuff. And we start to see that, you can only control your immediate environment sometimes if things are overwhelming. And that is, that's my art, is what is something that I think I can only control, really.
Well, that's your creative spark. That's what makes you human, right? Is your ability to create.
You know what? It's what it honestly is, Vicky. Art is the thing that doesn't require me to perform for anybody but me.
Yeah.
And all we're doing is performing all day long, right? We're just performing for other people's expectations of us.
Well, or our expectations, or our expectations of ourselves. I mean, you wouldn't have that person would not be expecting it from you if you didn't expect it from yourself, right? I mean, otherwise you wouldn't need that person to be there.
Right.
Remember,
Right.
everybody is a reflection of you. Everybody you come to meet and get to know is a reflection of you. I mean, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to everybody here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's a resonance, right? You're in your
mind. You're in your mind's like you're in your mind world, and your mind world is going to make the real world like actually agree with you. Like, so if you think that like everybody's out to get you, chances are somebody's going to get you. because that's your prominent thought, and by resonance you attract that in.
You are looking for it.
That's why the
100%.
worst thing about all of this is the fear. And if we can not be fearful, now that doesn't mean to be stupid or not careful, but not to be fearful and to live your life as best you can. And for, people are talking about their neighbors and their Spanish neighbors and their Spanish American neighbors. Um, we have to figure out in systems like they are in Minneapolis, where they're figuring out ways to warn, to do this, to do that. Almost like I feel like there's like an underground railroad kind of energy with this, where there, and I'm sure this is actually happening in churches and in you know centers and different places where they do this kind of work, so that people will be you know to the best of their ability will be watched out for. Hopefully.
There are.
I know there are in Chicago. I mean,
Yeah,
when I was
there
there,
are.
people seemed to be very concerned about their neighbors.
We still have organizations that are protected, like Catholic Charities, but public, but they're still protected where they do, offer, non-documented. I mean, they've got clothes and food and stuff like that. So there's that, like it's there. It's there. It's not, maybe some is underground, maybe not, but it's definitely out there.
Yeah. Somebody asked why Minneapolis. I
Do you
believe.
want to WTF that?
Well, I think astrologically, Minneapolis might be on Trump's Mars line, or Pluto. There's a Pluto line or something that goes over Minneapolis. I don't know if it's his Pluto line or not. I don't have the technology to check on this computer, or I would. But there are places in the world where you have your planets, these lines go over, and certain places are really good to be, and certain places are not as pleasant to be. And there's actually an astrology called astrocartography that can give you that information for those of you who might be interested in that. The best place for me to live is the Mendocino National Forest. And I'd be there today if it after I found out it hadn't gone on fire. And then I got a little scared about going. Oh my God.
Aaron was asking about the bird, about Apollo.
Oh, he's a blue and gold macaw. Oh, you heard him? Such a pain in the ass. Yeah, I named him after the sun god because he thinks the world revolves around him. And he looks like the sun in the sky because his breast is a little golden and he's got these beautiful blue wings. He's a beautiful boy. He's like 26 now. I didn't even know he was that old.
He is. That's a lot of work, a bird, for me.
Oh yeah. Well, it's noisy too. You can't really have it in an apartment. Not like this kind of bird. You have a little bird, but not a pterodactyl like this guy.
This one? Exactly, Apollo. I'm sure you heard him. I know he's being a little angel sleeping in the corner kind of dog right now, but just medieval screams echoing down the hallway.
It's like somebody's has a torture chamber in your.
The femme fatale, right? Unbelievable.
Well,
Such a
that's the breed too. They have that kind of thing that they don't really bark. They sort of yell.
Yeah, and that is the changes. That is part of the secondary changes of that bulldog breed.
Yeah.
It's the sound that comes out when air flies out of you like that. Oh
Oh, he
my
is
God, he's
awful
such a
cute
bad
though.
boy.
That's a good. That's the thing.
You know what I do want to pull a card on is I'm watching Alexandra in LA is the Bears and Rams game.
Oh,
I
that's
did a little spread, and last week we did this app before the Packers and Bears game, and a lot of that stuff came through. So why don't we do this when everybody's watching? Just
okay. So it's the Bears and the Rams, correct?
yeah. I also saw a bunch of so the Rams would be wands, yeah, fire, right?
Oh yeah, Aries maybe.
Aries. And the Bears were going to stick to pentacles,
Yeah.
resources, resources. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay.
Okay.
Um, I saw some people making comments about quilting, that quilting's becoming popular, or, that sort of fine motor stuff is hugely documented for building neural pathways and helping you divert, things. Like you can't angry sew, okay? You can't.
Also, historically, they use um, quilts as messages, like the slave the
Sigils.
slave, like this is a it's safe to go into this place, or they put something else out if there was danger around, like the people who would go around collecting slaves, runaway slaves, and a lot of those people were free people. Like 12 years a slave is a good example of what happened to free black people, right? But like they that whole idea of using quilts, um, and
It
putting
was
your
a language,
wisdom, right, putting your wisdom uh,
right?
through needle and thread.
It was a language. So it is a language. I love it because anything that you make with your hands, like I'm in awe of, right? So just a couple cards on the Bears and the Rams.
I actually picked 3 cards on the Rams and 3 cards on the
Okay,
Bears.
okay, go, you go.
Okay, so these are the Rams. We have the 7 of Swords, so
Oh,
they're gonna try to get away with something right up front, right up front.
mm-mm, not
Um,
here, not here.
we have the 3 of Cups, so they're gonna be celebrating. This could also be the 3-point play kind of thing,
I
right?
got 3 of Cups. Yes, I've got 3 of Cups in a different spread.
And I got the 5 of Wands, so it's going to be a difficult match. You got these two people pulling in two directions, right? So I think it's going to be a close game. So that was the Rams. This is the Bears. The Bears. We got the 2 of Cups, which means that they're going to work well together. The defense and the offense are going to work well together. The running game is going to be good with the Knight of Wands. And we get the 6 of Pentacles. All right. I think, if I would say from these cards, they win the prize. The Bears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People are talking about all kinds of like fiber arts and stuff like that. Yeah, that's good. So I got the 4 of Cups. This is the first card. This is how these games have been going. It's been like nothing has happened until the fourth quarter. That's when
Oh,
the Bears like do some shit and people start drinking and smoking. That's when. 6 of Swords.
hmm.
We have home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually 2 of Wands. Even though it looks like 3 gals up there, there's only 2 wands. You could see the Roman numeral 2.
Mm-hmm. That's like the cheerleaders.
We're watching. Okay, get the binoculars. Oh, Vicky, damn it. And the Queen of Wands. That would be the Rams. I don't like this. I'm going to do it over, but later when I can.
Okay, so we'll see who's a better card reader. Not who's a better football team. She says they're going to lose. I say they're going to win. We'll see who's right. We win either way, right? One of us wins. And when
Sometimes they just don't want you to play with a little dirty secret. I think. I don't know. I'm a little too involved in the story, so I'm not going to speculate, but I think it's going to be like that fourth quarter sort of thing that needs to be followed, which has been the pattern.
I think the Patriots are still in it too. We might have the Bears against the Patriots. Wouldn't that be interesting? We'd have a special Mystic Sister get together for that. Beer, pizza, and other sundries.
I think the hot dogs at Clark Street Dogs would be free for a year. I don't know what kind of wild kind of agreement they made, but something ridiculous when we win the Super Bowl.
So when's the last time you guys won? 85, right?
1985.
That was only 5 years after we won the 1980 Olympics in, was it Lake Placid, I think, against the Russian team? That was a big deal. Back in the day, back in my college days. Yikes. All right, let's see. Let's see if we have some more WTFs here.
I have been intermittently blessing scissors as I'm going along, and the ones that are squeaky rusty are very sharp, and you're going to cut yourself on them. Whoever's got the squeaky sharp scissors, they need a little oil. Exactly, heard that.
Sample 483 says, as a kid, my cheek was pierced by scissors accidentally. Obviously, she must have been running with scissors. I checked the scar tonight, but now it's tucked away in a facial wrinkle.
Don't worry about those facial wrinkles. They, you know what? When I see this hyper plastic or cosmetic surgery being done on a lot of these women, I feel like, when you saw somebody that had a bad toupee, you learn how to control your facial expression and how you react. Right? And the wrinkles, hey, if you don't like them, you can get wax from like the Mortician catalog. I'm sure they have a sale, and fill that shit in.
Tony Z says, go Bears. Well, we know who the Pope's praying for, right? I mean, they literally, the Bears have God on their side. Oh.
I'll make reference to the Pope when I put the Bears altar together. The Super Bowl altar. It's fun to enjoy something when you have this like broken crack of a wound of the city here and trying to fill it in. Vicki, when you were here, never were there more helicopters in the sky than that week.
Yeah, that was the week. We walked into a protest right in front of Trump Tower. I have a picture of my middle finger in Trump Tower.
It was a summer of a lot of that. And, it wasn't an air show. It was surveil and beefing up for this. And it was the beginning to scare you into, posturing like that. And it passed. It passed.
Somebody else said that Tim Walz has called the National Guard to protect the protesters. I was hoping he would do that actually. Um, but you want to pull some cards on how that's going to work in Minnesota?
We could pull cards on how it's going to work. And my initial thought on this, I swear to God, is good. It's easier to concentrate that remote energy when they are concentrated in one area. It's easier to work on that. Okay. I could work with that. Oh, we got a Patriots fan here. Yes, yes, we're going. Yeah, we're going with this. This is going to be a big year. We really need this kind of joy and
It's interesting that
electric waste in the streets, like, fun.
it is interesting that the two cities that are playing are two cities that have been through it with this Trump administration, Chicago and LA.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we pulling cards on? I lost that train.
How Walls calls the National Guard.
Oh,
How
that's right.
how is that going to work out?
I really don't like this whole idea of this kind of tear gassy, smoky kind of thing. Okay, that's at the end of the thing. Feeling, you know. Okay, we got a nice delivery of a stack of cards. Let's see. It's not a bad idea, and with flu and measles and all kinds of other stuff anyway, to have some kind of mask with you.
Wow.
Like we did, like we did in COVID. Like, it's kind of in that same, have it handy. Put it in your ice pack. What'd you get?
I think I got good cards actually. I think there's some challenges, but I did a Celtic cross. So first card up was the Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters, crossed by the Six of Pentacles. Both sixes, right? Both cards are sixes. Both cards deal with responsibility. Um, I think if there's a challenge, there might be a monetary challenge somehow. I don't know how that works. I don't know if um, the president could do something to disrupt, um, paying the soldiers. But it doesn't matter. He's still going to put
Financial threats.
well, he's definitely doing that, right? But the soldiers are there underneath. I get the Five of Wands, which is like melee,
That's what's happening.
back and forth, all this back and forth, pushing and pulling. In the past, I get the Two of Cups, so relationships that were established in the past. In the sky, I do get the Tower. So this is going to be what's the word I want to use?
A wake-up call.
It's a wake up call. It's a wake up call. It's like that point where the tower is lightning struck. This is Trump's soul vibration too. In the immediate future, I get the Two of Pentacles,
Okay.
which is a balance. I like that. So things balance out a little bit. How it's seen from the outside, people are waiting to see what's going to happen. This
You
is
betcha.
like a test. Domestic situation, I get the High Priestess. So something maybe will be revealed. Maybe a weakness will be revealed, like in the Trump administration or something like that. Or
We don't know.
We don't know, right? Something is being hidden that I believe will be revealed. Hopes and fears, the nine of wands. So this is vigilance, and then the outcome, the wheel of fortune.
Okay.
So to me, that's good luck.
So my outcome card was the magician. So again, it's like it kind of could be anything. And I think it would be more of an astrology explanation on that one. I got the chariot. So National Guard and chariot, just put those two, make a sentence out of that. Okay. Then I get the tower. So causing a disruption. The tower is what Uranus. The tower is Uranus, right?
And Mars, Uranus and Mars. That it has both the energy of both of those.
We know Uranus is causing an ear trine. We know Mars is hitting the moons, the moon and the sun
Oh,
on a new
Mars and
moon.
Uranus. Your Mars and Uranus are sextile each other. No, are they sextile? Or are they no? They're trying each other.
So, and then I get the Nine of Swords. So this could be threats. This could be swords are air, ice, right?
Could be anxiety.
It could be that
My
right,
anxiety. Yeah.
causing fear maybe. The 10 of Cups. So there's some sovereignty in between this that you're gonna, we'll be able to reap, I believe. And then the Magician. So could it be that this is sort of this teasing your emotional field again? Nine of Swords, 10 of Cups, you know what I mean? Or
Well, I think it's both. I think in cases like this, people are fearful, and yet people feel united in what's right. People feel
100%.
like they're united what's right. And I think the magician at the end indicates that Walls is taking control of the situation.
Has all the equipment.
He's taking control of the situation.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if other states lend them, like if they need more, that other states will come in and help them.
I hope so. I just don't like what this is on the bottom. If other states need help, will they come over? And the Knight of Cups is on the bottom. So yeah, if other states are requested assistance, they would help.
Yeah.
I know JB would.
Yeah.
I know he would.
Yeah.
I hope he would.
Well, I think so because these guys are they're also lightly going to run for president. So they want to, they want what do people want? People want this to stop. So who's ever going to help stop it? It's got a leg up on something, right?
I think when it's a crisis like this, and I hope that this is the situation, that they're not looking at it as an opportunity to be popular for the next election. They're looking at it's an emergency situation. They don't have to give a shit, but they do give a shit.
Right, and that's why they're when I say running, I don't necessarily mean like premeditated necessarily. But like if you're willing to stick your neck out around Trump, then you have to have like it has to be for a larger cause, I think. And I was thinking Pritzker because he's obviously was that before. So we'll see. We'll see how this all works out. We know that Hot Wheels isn't going to send them any help.
I was thinking of Hot Wheels today. Remember when like we had immigration buses, people getting bussed into cities from Texas and getting dropped off in these remote areas, and I just don't. I like so much of this is so incredibly bizarre to me. And now we're scrubbing and hate criming. Just everything is just absolutely bizarre. Jazz Lady says he creates a problem to solve it. He creates a problem. This is interesting. It is to show us this is how you get power, right? So you create a problem, and you tell people you are the only one that can fix it. And you get more power that way. And he's been doing it over and over, and now we see it. Now we understand some of these psych concepts and diagnoses and symptoms and dementia. I don't think people knew more about dementia
or narcissistic personality disorder.
Narcissistic personality disorder. We didn't throw those words around a lot. Now we know it, we recognize it, and we call it out.
Yeah.
Right? That's fair.
So Jesse Ventura is thinking of running for governor.
I saw him. I saw a short clip, and I literally had to Google him to remember what he used to look like. He looks different.
Well, he's older too.
Yeah.
Quite a bit older. We have Sweden in the house tonight.
Oh, nice.
That's exciting. I love when we go over the pond. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Jamie Raskin says that the January 6th protesters are now ICE. Yes, of course they are.
You know what? These tarot readers and diviners all across YouTube knew that, Jamie.
Yeah.
We knew that in the summer. We're like, oh yeah, as soon as he pardoned them, they didn't just turn over. They went straight into this recruitment. Mm-hmm. We know that. We know that.
Wow. Zendal says, today in my small town, 3 young women were standing on Main Street with abolish ICE signs. This is a very red state, and it was only 23 degrees out.
Yeah. I still wear my flag on my No Kings little apron thing on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just on. I'm not taking it off. I've only transferred to other things I was wearing, but I don't wear it to work, as I don't want to instigate anything. I just want that awareness out there when I can.
Right. You kind of have to keep that stuff out of work as well, especially if it's something like healthcare or because we don't really, it doesn't matter who comes into the hospital, who comes into the doctor's office. Everybody is treated, at least for me, everybody is treated equally.
You're working with a different family there. It's not the kind of narrative you want to have. You possibly strike an argument with somebody or something like that.
Oh no. J.A. lady, Jasley, I'm sorry, I can't read it. I gotta get my eyes checked.
Jazz Lady 22.
Yeah, says, I nearly got ousted from YouTube, changing my thumbnail to the latest emotional relief DJT pin cushion. She put her voodoo doll on.
I am concerned a little bit about this because I see that there's been some language that gets curbed and thumbnails and stuff like that. When I listen to some videos, people are swearing a lot, and it seems to flow in a direction that I'm I'm good with,
Mm-hmm.
like free speech type of thing. So I'm wondering if, you know what, why don't can we pull cards on that? Maybe that would be interesting. Are we going to have to um severely censor ourselves, this community, the diviners community, or the tarot community
Yeah,
on YouTube? What do you think?
we can
Because
ask.
I run a weird little teasing fence on this one. I'm not sure, as i.e. Donnie's shitty week, you know. I'm looking at your comment, Teresa, and I'm seeing, I know you're mad. I know you're mad. I can tell you're mad. But I have Substack, but I don't engage in it a whole lot, and haven't been able to scrub through the content. Like, you know, I'm still scrubbing through garbage on TikTok.
We also have somebody from London, England tonight.
Sweet.
Cheerio, tally ho. I don't know what he's.
Love
Yeah.
your shoes. That's what I say. I love your shoes.
Love your shoes.
What are you getting?
I got the first card up was the Hermit. This to me is like shining your light, and then I got Strength.
That's YouTube, I guess. Yeah. Right.
The Five of Cups.
Okay.
Okay. The Ten of Cups, and then the Seven of Wands. So what I feel that these cards are saying is that there may be a time, especially if it's around a tragedy, that you're gonna when the tragedies happen, you have to be extra careful, because that's when everybody is like extra sensitive, and almost anything you can say can create
Yeah.
a problem. So you have to be very like, is it anodyne? Is that the word that I'm looking for? Where it's just like no yelling, no screaming, no voodoo dolls, no MFers. There are gonna be, I think, times when they're gonna, but that's only when things, I think, according to my cards, get a little crazy. Okay, what do you do, baby?
I think that you have to watch. This is the
Swords.
seven of swords. So I want to say that some of the algorithm, some of those things are going to come up, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there'll be a trigger in an algorithm that's going to cause some people to end. It's going to like be maybe 5 repeated offenses or something got changed, but some people are going to have to fight for or change the content maybe of their channel.
Is that Temperance?
The world,
Okay.
and then the queen of wands. So something worth fighting for is worth fighting for.
Right.
But some content that has repeatedly been disciplined might get pulled overnight.
Right. Right.
And I have like one chance. I mean, there are people that if they have some kind of offense, they start another channel, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I have like one. That's all I use. So that's interesting. I guess, yeah, it's not hard to get your message across since we are able to deliver a lot of this information, in a way that uses divination.
We can always say for entertainment purposes only, right? We have that option. But I guess we do have to be careful. There are certain things that are going to be difficult to talk about. But I think, a lot of the readers have channels and stuff anyway, so they can
Yeah.
put that behind a paywall. I don't think it's as much of an issue.
There is on the drop down box for people, when you publish a video that says, are you swearing? What kind of language are you using? Are you talking about kind of sex or criminal content, things like that? Is there nudity? You can
Say yes.
say yes, be on there, but you won't get or monetized, or your monetization will be
Restricted. Well,
restricted.
your amount of people who might want to advertise on your
Right. So there are a group of people that say, no, I don't want to advertise on somebody that says all that nasty
right,
shit.
right, 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 right.
I always press the button that there's foul language, because by the end of a video, if I haven't said it, I'm certainly thinking it.
Right, and because everybody who watches us is psychic, they think they hear it anyway. Or maybe it's their guides cursing.
So I always put myself on that, that's what I put. But as far as I've had, I guess I haven't really had so much nudity as, maybe that Dickens deck and covering some things up. I haven't really had too much restriction that way.
I only ever got one thing, and it was years ago, and it was right around the COVID time. And I don't think it was even anything I said. I think my guest said something.
I
So,
think we couldn't say COVID for a while. And somebody said about there may be restrictions on children watching. There is a drop down for
yeah,
children.
I tell people 18 or older for my stuff.
Yeah. Is
Right up.
this that asks, is this can children under 12 watch this or whatever? And you say no, no, unless their mom's watching with them or whatever. So you know what your security boundaries are.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting week ahead. We have the new moon tomorrow. The new moon is conjunct Pluto in the United States chart. And then all those planets that have been lined up in Capricorn are going to move into Aquarius and make a conjunction to Pluto. So that's seeding the soul seeding some new. We're getting some new marching orders from the world soul coming up soon. So it's going to be a very active uh, week. But don't forget, this is a time when we have a lot of ability to manifest. But you are going to manifest what you focus on. So if there's a project that you want done, especially with this new moon in Capricorn, apply yourself. You'll be surprised how fast you'll get it done.
Yeah, things are moving fast.
Yeah.
G.S. Bjork says Twilight Zone. Sometimes I watch it and that feels more real. So yes.
I still have nightmares about certain Twilight Zone episodes. I still can't sleep next to a wall lest I fall into another dimension and my parents can't find me. And they walk in and the bed's empty, but they can hear me screaming on the other side of the wall. Yeah, no, that one stuck with me.
I liked that feeling of fear. I like to conjure that sort of kind of like spooky, move you into a different place kind of thing. I love the Twilight Zone.
I loved it. I watched it all the time, but there were certain ones that scared me.
That's
Just saying.
that's fair.
Falling into a pit, I guess, scares me. Dimensional pit of some
You
sort.
know how far ahead of his time Rod Serling was?
Yeah, yeah.
Like a
Gene
guy.
Roddenberry too. I mean, Gene Roddenberry pretty much, I think, was an alien. It just there's just like no other way to describe him. I think he was an alien.
And you know what? And that's what I think is going to save us, honestly, is a whole new dimension of something to run toward.
Well, we can run toward ourselves in a higher dimension, right? I mean, we're down here, we're limited in this third dimensional reality, but we can remain in the third dimension and still access the higher dimensions. The fifth dimension is the dimension of the heart, and that's if you're in your heart, if you're in your heart, you can't be in fear. If you're in fear, you're in the third dimension. If you're in love, you're in a higher dimension. So the best you can do to sort of foster that sense of love and joy and gratitude, and counting your blessings is a great way to access that, I think, when you realize just how lucky you are.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll tell you what, right now, I feel better. And if there's anything about your week that was traumatizing that you kind of came in with that you're not anymore, you're like, no, I feel different now. I feel better. It worked. Okay.
Did you
Let
want to
us
do the
sisters.
blessing?
I've been doing the blessing the whole time.
Yes.
That's how I picked up on the one with the rusty nut on it.
Oh, okay.
They're sharp. Yeah, it's been like I've been like running through this whole thing about when I laughed hard at something, or to be in that place and to push that energy onto the blessing. And for the new moon, I will be lighting a candle all about this sharing of the old trauma stuff.
Have a shearing, right? Shearing
Yes,
or sharing.
sharing.
Shearing. So she doesn't have an accent. It's Shearing.
Yes, but you know what? Sharing is sharing, I guess.
Sharing is sharing. Sharing, and it's caring. It's sharing and sharing.
You know what I mean? When you do, you are kind of opening yourself up to a healing environment. So I hope it helped. There's more. I'm going to do the whole new moon thing around this concept, and you know, you physically use them above your head and go, I'm done with this crap. I do this a lot in Reiki when energy feels stuck, is to kind of reach in and knot it like I'm twisting something around my finger,
And
like
then
that, and yank it like I'm pulling a lawnmower cord. Cut it, twist it, and cut it. It needs that twist is in there. Cut it out of there. That changed it. Just the motion, the it changed it. All right. Laura Kraft is asking about moon shadows tomorrow. Vicki, I think you want to say before we go about moon shadows, when to look for it.
I'm gonna put it on after this. I'll be as soon as I get off here, I'm gonna put it up on the channel because it's just about ready to go up. So it's only a half hour, so we did pretty good. We only talked for a half hour. Sometimes you can't shut us up. Like our first one, we had a new moon in Gemini. It was an hour and a half. Like we couldn't stop talking, but we've gotten better.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what you need to do, you know?
We have to do things a little bit faster so we can fit it all in now before
And
the next big shift.
right. The
Because
next big
you
shift.
know what they say, shift happens.
Yes. The only thing that's going to shift is me under the covers in about an hour.
Oh
So I
yeah.
can get ready for the Bears game.
Go Bears.
All right.
Good night,
Love you guys. Love
everybody.
you guys.
We
Thank you
love
so
you.
much. And we'll
Thank you
see
for
you in the
joining us.
morning.